Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all having a lovely day today. So the Christmas season is officially here and I'm so excited to be filming my first Christmas video of 2025. I have my little festive dress on, my Rifle Paper Company Christmas mug, and let's just jump right into what this video is going to be about. So it's going to be a very cozy, crafty Christmas vlog, my favorite types of videos. We're going to be decorating our house in this video, doing a couple of Christmas crafts, and even sewing a dress. So a very full video of crafting and creating, and I'm really looking forward to jumping right in with you guys. So before we start, we will start with decorating the house, but before we do that, let's talk about the crafts and the sewing project we're going to be making in this video. So this is going to be a little bit later on in the video because the crafting day is not until this weekend. It's the beginning of the week, so we have a little bit of time before we get to that point. But the couple of crafts we're going to be making in this video, number one, I have this little wooden nutcracker that my parents gave me last year. This was made by a friend of our family's. This is using local wood from where I live, which is really cool. But I really want to paint this guy. So I want to paint him to kind of look like the Rifle Paper Company nutcracker. Let me show you guys right here. This is my inspiration. So this I actually may try doing today. I think this would be a really fun crafting project. I'm not very good at painting, so we'll see how that goes. But he's fine being plain wood, but I think it would be really cute to paint him. So that's one of the crafts I want to do in this video. The one that we're going to be doing later this week that I'm actually doing with my family is painting a Christmas village. So I bought these little houses at Michael's. They're only really a couple of dollars. They're these little wooden houses that light up, which I think is so fun. And we're going to be painting a little Christmas village. So I have this little house, which kind of looks like the Little Women orchard house to me. This one, I have this cozy little cottage, which I think is so fun. And then I also have this little church. So my family is all going to be making their own villages for their own homes, but these are the three that I'm going to have on my mantle. Rosie has a couple she's going to work on, and then Caleb has one he's going to make as well. So I'm really excited to do those. My inspiration for these are some houses that I saw on Anthropology a couple of years ago. I can't remember the brand of what they are, but I'll put a picture of a couple of the different kinds over here for you guys to see, but they're really fun. They're kind of pastel colors with these sparkles and all these really fun little accessories, and so that is the goal for these. I have some really fun paint colors. I bought some fake snow and some sparkly little decorations to put. I have like a little wreath and some little trees. I think they're just going to be so fun. So that's going to be later on in the video. And then for the sewing project, I have a dress that I want to make for my Christmas party that is just in a couple of weeks. I think it's actually about a week and a half from today. So I want to make a dress to wear for that Christmas party. So the dress pattern that we're going to be using is a vintage 70s pattern. This is McCall's 3502, and I'm going to be making this dress, which I think is just so fun. I love the long sleeves and it just looks really comfortable, and I like this shorter length. I really like how dresses look when they have long sleeves and shorter skirts. I just feel like it proportionally looks really good. So I'm hoping to maybe wear some black tights with this because I just think it would be so cute. And for the fabric, so I did a little poll on Instagram, I think probably about a month ago, on asking you guys which fabric I should use to make a Christmas dress. I had a whimsical print and then a more classic print, which was like red and green, and the whimsical print won, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm really happy about that because this is the one I was kind of rooting for. But this is the Rifle Paper Company nutcracker fabric, and I think this is just so fun and festive and adorable and whimsical and very much me. This is the cream color. They also have the blush, which is what I made my placemats and stocking out of, and they also had a dark green, but dark colors just tend to kind of overwhelm my frame, and so I wanted to do a little bit of the lighter one. So this is the fabric we're going to be using, and I think it's just going to look so fun and cute. So with all that being said, let's jump right into decorating. I don't have too much to decorate because I honestly don't have a ton ton of Christmas decorations. I would love to get more eventually, but we're just going to use what we have and enjoy decorating this house for the first time for Christmas. We moved about a month after Christmas into this home, and so I never had a chance to decorate for Christmas. So I'm very excited. I think we're gonna start with decorating the mantle, which I won't be able to complete all the way because these little houses will be going on the mantle, but we can at least get that started and do a couple little areas around the house. I want to decorate my bookshelf, I want to decorate the mantle, and then I want to figure out what to do in the dining room because that is where I will host my Christmas dinner that I make with my family, and I want that to look really fun and festive in there. I'm just not entirely sure how. So let's hop right into decorating the house to be really fun and festive for this Christmas season. We are going to take a break from decorating and work on the nutcracker. Rose would like to do a little craft, so I'm gonna get some stuff set up on the table and we will see how this goes. I'm not very good at painting, but I think he'll be really cute when he's done. So I'm just gonna get that set up and we're gonna work on that and see how it looks when we're all done. Here's a little progress update. He's looking so much better already. He has his little crown that I painted on him, his belt, his legs. I am going to paint a black stripe down the center of whatever I determined to be the front so it looks like his legs. But I want to let him completely dry with the layers that I put on before I start doing the more intricate layers. I have all of the red that I need to do. I need to add the buttons on the front of his jacket, his face, his hair. So all the parts that are really intimidating to me, I need to do next. So before we do that, I'm gonna let him dry a little bit more and work on decorating the dining room. I don't have much to do in here. I mainly just wanna put a little thing in the centerpiece of the table and then get my Christmas records out and also hang up my advent calendar. And that's pretty much it for in here. I'm gonna go set him aside to dry for now. And then let's just quickly decorate in here before coming back to finish our little nutcracker. Just switched out all of my albums for my Christmas albums, and now I just have one last thing I want to do in here before finishing the nutcracker. So I put up this little command strip hook to hold my adorable little advent calendar that I bought from Rifle Paper Company last year. I thought this would fill this space nicely, and then to kind of hide the ugly hook, I just made this little bow with some Rifle Paper Company ribbon. I'm just gonna slip this and there. So much cuter and so much more whimsical. So that's really all I'm doing in the dining room, nothing crazy. I'm just gonna go grab myself a cup of tea and then let's continue working on this little nutcracker. finished a nutcracker incredibly late last night, which is why I showed him to you guys this morning. But honestly, I'm so proud of him. Here's a little bit of a closer look. I think he looks so cute. I'm especially proud of his crown on his hat. That was one of the parts I was most nervous about, and that actually ended up being some of the easiest. I really struggled with his whole jacket area here because I had to freehand pretty much all of it, but I think he's really cute and looks pretty similar to what I was going off of. He obviously doesn't have a mouth, so I just decided to give him a little mustache, but I think he's adorable and I'm so happy to have him for my Christmas decorations. So I'm in my pajamas today because Rose and I decided to have a pajama day. I have my first cup of hot cocoa for this season in favorite Christmas mug. Let me see if it'll focus. This is a Rifle Paper Company mug in collaboration with Anthropology. This was from probably 5 or 6 years ago, maybe even longer. My dad got this for me for Christmas and it's one of my favorite Christmas mugs. I love the colors. So I'm just enjoying a cup of hot cocoa this morning. It is so cold and so windy out. We saw snow flurries this morning and it's definitely feeling like Christmas time. So what I'm thinking of doing is actually heading back to the sewing room and starting to work on my Christmas dress. I'm pretty much done with decorating and I'll show you guys the decorations in their full glory once we get the little village houses done. But since that's already done, it means I have some time to work on my dress. So let's head back to the sewing room and see what we can get done. I have about an hour and a half this afternoon for Rosie's rest and we'll see how much I can accomplish. I already have my pattern pieces cut out, which is fabulous. And I have made a mock-up like incredibly quickly of this dress before, so I think it should go fairly fast, which is always very satisfying. I haven't actually made myself a piece of clothing in quite a while, so I'm pretty excited. So let's take my little cup of hot cocoa and we'll head back to the sewing room. In the sewing room, and I'm so thankful that I cut everything out when I did because it's just one less thing I have to do. So I'm just looking over the instructions for the dress, and honestly I think this dress is gonna go fairly quickly. So the dress itself is actually one piece. So like this is the front, like the bodice and the skirt together. So that should be fairly quick to sew. You're just gonna sew the pleats here at the front. I do need to make the tie belt, and then it'll just be as simple as attaching the sleeves and then the dress is done. So I probably won't be able to finish it this afternoon, but I should be able to make quite a bit of progress. So it looks like we're going to start by making the tie belt. We'll attach that to one of the pleats and then we'll pleat the front of the dress and go from there. So I'm just gonna grab the pieces that I need, head over to the ironing board, get everything pressed, sew it up, and we'll see how much we can get done this afternoon. It is currently about 12:50, so we'll see how much we can get done. So pretty excited. I haven't made a dress in a while and should be nice just to get back into sewing, and I love sewing vintage patterns, as you guys know, so I'm really looking forward to making this. So I have the ties all done, and this is the front of the dress. It looks a little crazy, but I really tried to line everything up, so hopefully it will look good once the pleats are done. But now what I need to do is just baste stitch the ties to the front of the dress. Just gonna use my pattern piece here to see where they need to go. So these are all pinned in place. So now I'm going to go just baste stitch these down, and then we'll start working on the pleats for the front of this dress. Just went and basted those, and now we are going to be pinning all of these together to sew. So I'm gonna grab my thing of pins, and I'm just going to really take my time to match up all of the notches that I made. This is definitely one of those patterns that you want to make sure that you make a lot of notches on. We're going to pin all this together, and then we will go over and sew all of these little pleats. All the joy it brings to be with you. All right, I got everything pinned, and I'm getting a glimpse of what the front is going to look like. I think it's going to look so cute. So I'm just going to take this over to the sewing machine and really take my time while I'm sewing these, because these need to be pretty precise, especially since this is going to be the front of the dress. So I'm just going to go really slow and sew these all together. Under the stars.
close my eyes and think of you.
The sun is starting to come out and I'm so happy. But here's progress so far. Here's what it looks like. It kind of looks like a pinafore apron right now, but I think the pleats actually kind of worked, and the pattern actually looks pretty good too, because I have mouse, ballerina, mouse, ballerina, mouse. So I'm really quite happy about that. So I am just going to plug in my serger and finish off the raw edges of the pleats. They will be facing around the top part of this, so I don't need to worry about that. But these will be raw edges otherwise. So I think I'm just gonna hook that up and do that really quickly, and then we'll start working on the back of the dress. Okay, so I tried it on. I have a lot of thoughts. Number one, I am gonna have to make it just a little bit smaller in the back, maybe take like an inch off total perhaps. The nice thing is it has a tie, so it's quite forgiving, so I don't really need to take too much off. Definitely need to shorten it. This is way too long for the style of dress that it is. And it looks okay. It just looks a little bit like a pinafore now because it doesn't have the sleeves. So I'm also trying to decide if it's gonna be too high on the neck. That's partly why I'm wanting to shorten it by several inches. I'm planning on wearing this with black tights so I can make it a little bit shorter than I would usually. But yeah, this is what we're working with so far. Trust in the process. Let's get back to the sewing room and see if I can make the adjustments, try it on again, especially once I have the sleeves on. I think that's really gonna help. Back in my pajamas, but Rosie did just get up from her rest, so I'm going to pause on working on the dress for now and work on it either later tonight or in the next couple of days. But really happy with the progress so far, and I will talk to you guys when we start working on the dress next. And it's looking so cute, but I'm gonna put a pause on this for now because we're actually going to get ready to go and get our Christmas tree. We don't do anything special. We just go to like a local hardware store and we pick one out, but it's still really fun and we really enjoy it. We'll get that set up and have it fluff out for a couple of hours before we decorate it. And then once Rosie is down for her rest this afternoon, I can turn my attention back to finishing this dress. So I'm just gonna hang this up and let's go get our Christmas tree.
Woke up this morning
I looked outside my window where children lighting up the Christmas tree, and the snow is falling. It reminds me of the good times, those winters we would spend just you and me. It's been such a long time, but tomorrow's Christmas Day, and I am on my way.
Ta-da! The dress is done. And I love it so much. We got some unexpected snow last night, so it's giving me so many Christmassy vibes. But let's talk about the dress. Overall, I'm really happy with the dress. It looks a bit more like a nightgown than what I was originally anticipating, but I think because of the style of the dress with the fabric that I chose, it's okay. It's very whimsical and fun, and I really, really love it. I love this fabric so much, and I do like this pattern, although I will have to say I don't think it's meant for my wide shoulders. I had a bit of a problem with the fit in the shoulders, but I think I figured it out for the most part, and I did end up cutting off probably about 6 or 7 inches from the bottom, and I'm so happy that I did because I just feel like it makes the dress overall just really fun and not too overwhelming. So there was the sewing project of the video, and tomorrow we are going to be working on the last crafting project, which is making the fun little village houses, and then I'll give you a full tour of all of the Christmas decorations. You've pretty much seen most of it in the video, but I figure I'll just go through the whole house once everything is done. So I'm actually going to go get changed into some pajamas and get nice and cozy, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow when we make our cute little village houses.
To you. Yes, I'm coming home to you.
It's now the next evening and we finished the houses. Oh my goodness, they are perfect. I love them so much. I had so much fun doing this. I will have to say they took a lot longer than I was anticipating. My first house took me, I think, about 5 hours, and then I was starting to get the hang of it, and then each one took me a couple of hours. I may have bitten off a little more than I could chew with doing 3 houses, but I am happy that I did. I ended up going back over my parents today and finishing the rest of my 3rd house because I didn't get a chance to work on that. But that means now everything is pretty much decorated for Christmas. So I'm gonna flip you guys around and give you a little tour on how the house looks with all the festive decorations up. So this is the view when you first walk into our living room and our house, and I love it so much. So over here, we just have some greenery that I put up on a curtain rod that was here when we moved, just to add some festive cheer to this part of the living room. I also have just this little setup on our side table. This is not permanent, but it's what I had. I have some of my favorite Christmas books. I have the Nutcracker, Letters from Father Christmas, which I've never read and I'm really looking forward to reading this year. And I'm currently reading The Christmas Pig by J.K. Rowling, who is the author of Harry Potter, and I'm reading this out loud to Rosie. Undecided what I think of this yet, but it's been fun to read at least. And then I just have this little bottle brush tree with this really cute velvet picture frame. I just put some Rifle Paper Company wrapping paper in there for now because I didn't have a photo printed out that would fit. And then we have churro. I want to eventually add some bows to the tops of my little gallery wall. I managed to get one to stick, but the rest wouldn't stick. But I think that would just add some festive cheer. I also really want to get a holiday Rifle Paper Company print to put over here, but not entirely sure which one I want, so I just haven't ordered that yet. And then we have the star of the show, our Christmas tree. We haven't decorated this yet. I just have the red bow on top of the tree for now. But this is a little balsam fir that we picked up at the hardware store. And then I just have a little Rifle Paper Company Christmas tree skirt. I love this. I got this on a crazy good deal last year, and I'm so happy that I bought that. And then now we have the mantle, which is by far the coziest part of the living room. We have this adorable little village print, our nutcracker, and then the little village houses, which I am so happy with how these turned out. We have my little, what I call my orchard house. It looks like the house from Little Women, this little church, and then this little cottage. The light is starting to get kind of dark, so they're getting kind of hard to see, but I love them over here so much. And then we have all of our stockings, which is just making me so happy. I even turned on the little faux fireplace for you guys, so there's the view from the couch. And then for my bookcase, I didn't do much over here. I just put some candlesticks with bows up on the top by Mr. Darcy. I have this really long velvet bow on the top of my bookshelf, and then I have this little Christmas village that I've had for several years. I just have little tea lights in there with a couple other bottle brushes, and then these are some snowflakes that a friend of mine handmade me, goodness, probably 7 or 8 years ago, and I love them so much. So that's all I really have for my bookcase, but it looks really festive, especially with the Christmas lights and the reflection. And then the last room is just the dining room, and this is pretty simple, honestly. I just strung some lights up over the curtain rod in here just to add some nice lighting. I have just a simple little centerpiece. Again, the bottle brushes with candlesticks and the bows. Just something simple. When I have my Christmas party this weekend, this will be very different, but for everyday use, this is nice. And then I got out all of my Christmas albums, several favorites in here. Had the Holiday out front because it's one of my favorites, and Kenny G because it's instrumental and it just sounds so nice. And then lastly, we have my little Rifle Paper Company advent calendar. And today is actually December 1st, so he is in his correct place. And I love this so much, and I just added the little bow to the top. So that's pretty much it. And there you have it. That is our little cozy Christmas cottage, is how I like to view our little house. It's nothing much, but it makes me really happy just with all of the little whimsical decorations, our crafts that we made to add to the house. I love the nutcracker. I love the Christmas village, and my little Christmas dress, which I'm planning to wear for my Christmas party this weekend. So all that being said though, I am going to end the video here. I really hope you guys enjoyed this very Christmassy vibe video. I know it really got me in the Christmas spirit, especially with the freshly fallen snow. It just makes it 10 times more cozy. So if you guys did enjoy this video, please let me know in a comment down below. I always love reading them. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and Christmas season. And I will talk to you guys in the next one very soon. Mwah.